Hey, what is going on, guys? My name is Blazekiller. Today we are back with another video. In today's video, I'm going to be giving y'all my predictions for the 2025 Halloween event. I did this last year and you guys seemed to like it a lot for the 2024 Halloween event, that is. So I'll be continuing this tradition this year. And yeah, let's just jump straight into this. So what could we see this year? Well, we're obviously going to receive a pumpkin, as we've received every single year since these Halloween events have begun. I'll put in your screens right now all the pumpkins that we've seen so far. And I actually do know what this year's pumpkin is going to be. It has been leaked. I made a video a couple days ago talking about that leak, at least at the time of this recording. If you want to spoil yourself, you can go watch that video. I'm not going to spoil it in today's video, but if you do not want to be spoiled and you want to predict yourself what this could be, you can look at all the colors that we have and ask yourselves, what colors do we not have? Well, we don't have really like a pink one per se. We don't have maybe a black or a brown one, so there are some colors that we don't have. Last year we got a special pumpkin, that being the just called the pumpkin, I believe here is this special one for the 10-year anniversary of these Halloween events. So what might we see this year? Again, I'm not going to spoil it. If you want to watch that video and spoil yourself, go for it. But I want to jump straight into the next thing that we're almost definitely going to see, and that is the bag of candy. Now, the bag of candies began in 2018. Default 2 began adding these to the game then, and I'll put on your screens right now what those bags of candy have been since 2018. So we have the original bag of candy, which is kind of like a brown or an orange color. We actually got 2019 skipped a year of the bag of candies. I'm not sure why the Default 2 did that, but we only got actually a pumpkin that year. It's the only thing we got in the Halloween event, which is kind of sad. But jumping now to 2020, we have a purple bag of candy, then a green, a blue, a yellow, and then a crimson. So if you ask yourselves, what colors do we not have? I mean, Default 2 obviously has this trend of picking new colors generally every year. We have a red, we have an orange, or a brown of sorts, a yellow, a green, a blue, and a purple. So we really have the entire rainbow. So what could we see next? We could see a white bag of candy, maybe a black one, maybe a pink one. I'm not exactly sure what Default 2 will do, since we have finished really the rainbow here with all these colors, but we're almost certainly going to receive a bag of candy. Default 2 has only skipped 1 year since this tradition began. So expected bag of candy in this year's Halloween event. What is the color of that going to be? I don't know exactly. And what are the contents of that going to be? I don't know. We have so many different candy bars and puns with those candy bars. I'll open one of these bags up right now, and you can just see how many different types of candy bars we already have. And obviously they always have some pun to them, right? So instead of Hershey's, it's Hoover's, right? Instead of the Crunch bar, it's the Chop bar, and so on and so forth. What could we see? What puns and what funny things can Default 2 cook up this year? I guess we'll have to wait and see. The next thing now, so we're kind of moving into the speculative territory here, which means we're not exactly certain what these next things could be, because we always expect a pumpkin, we always expect a bag of candy, but these next things could be a mystery. But one thing that I think is definitely an option is an axe. So we have received an axe twice during Halloween events since the Halloween events began, once in 2018, once in 2020. I believe the 2018 one was the amber axe, and the 2020 was the candy corn axe. So we have seen axes before. It's been a while. It's been, well, what is that, 5 years, I guess, since we've seen an axe in a Halloween event. But Default 2 has done it before, and he's done it twice. So what axe could we possibly see? Well, we could see like a pumpkin axe maybe, and you can kind of speculate what those specs, what those specializations on the axe might be. Like, what is the axe good for, if you will. We might also see maybe a witch's axe. That might be cool. Like a witch's sort of sickle would be like the top part of the axe. We could see a skull axe. I think this would be really cool, a skull axe, and I'll talk about another sort of skull related thing later on. A ghost axe, a ghostly axe. Maybe it has like a semi-transparent blade, kind of like the amber axe does. We could also see a bat wing axe, and that would kind of play into the head of the axe, the top of the axe, the blade of the axe, where instead of the blade, it's just a bat's wing, or a ghost, or a skull, or a sickle, or a pumpkin, right? That's kind of where I'm going with these themes. So I don't know. These are just some ideas that I've thought of, that I've brainstormed. Let me know what you might think the axe could be if we do receive an axe in this year's Halloween event. I think that would be super cool. We haven't seen it in a long time, right? But let's jump now into the next sort of speculative thing, and that is going to be a painting. You might ask, well, when have we received paintings in a Halloween event before? We actually have in 2018. Along with the Amber Axe and then the original bag of candy, we received quite a few things. I believe this is the most heavy sort of Halloween event we've received. That is the most items we received in a Halloween event before. So we had, in addition to the pumpkin, in addition to the bag of candy and the axe, we had 3 paintings added, right? Which is kind of crazy. So all those paintings are right there. I believe the pineapple one, you have that like the icicle sort of, not icicle, but the iceberg sort of painting. Then you have, I believe it's called the Gloomy Seascape at Dusk painting. So we've received 3 paintings all in one event, which is kind of weird. But we might receive another painting. I don't know. That's definitely an option. We've seen it before, and that's kind of what I'm going off of. If we've seen it before, then it could be an option going forward. And then kind of jumping off of that, since we could see a painting, but also in that event we saw the spooky icicle lights. The spooky icicle lights. So what might we receive going forward in terms of lights? We could receive more icicle lights, and some other options I've thought of are like a skull icicle light. So instead of the pumpkins on those icicle lights, we could see skulls, or we could see ghosts, we could see eyeballs, we can see cauldrons, we can see gravestones, we could see spider webs, which would be kind of cool. So instead of like a normal wire connecting whatever it may be on these lights, it could be a spider web actually connecting them instead of that wire, which is just something that I thought which would be really cool. Or maybe bat lights, so like bats on the lights instead of those pumpkins. I think all these options would be super cool to see in game. The next Halloween item that I think would be super cool to see added into this game this year is the Eerie Skull. The return of the Eerie Skull. Actually, right under the map where I am right now, the Eerie Skull was actually able to be seen. It was added to the game files, but it was actually unable to be accessed. So exploiters actually got it into the game though, because it was in the files. They exploited it into the game, and because it got exploited into the game and duplicated so much, Defaultio ended up removing it from the game. This was a long time ago, I believe 2016 if I'm not mistaken, so we haven't seen this for a very long time. But I recently made a video about this as well. If you want more information on what the Eerie Skull actually is, I'll put that on your screens right now. But it's kind of a mystery. It's kind of a mystery, but similar to how we received the magenta icicle lights years and years after waiting for it to return back into the game, we have something similar that might happen here with the Eerie Skull. After waiting years and years and years, maybe Defaultio might actually add this into the game, similar to how we just did with the magenta icicle lights in this last year's Christmas event. I think it'd be super cool to see into this game, added to Bob's Shack, assumedly. I'm not sure where the use would be, but I think it would be an amazing thing to see added to this game. Now, those are the main things that I think could be added to this game. We, of course, have the pumpkin, which is almost a guarantee. The bag of candy, which is almost a guarantee. We have some more speculative things, like the painting, or a painting, an axe, different lights that could be added, and, of course, the Eerie Skull, to top it off. Some other things that I think could be added, these are very speculative, of course. Maybe a wreath, like a haunted sort of wreath that is kind of glowing with skulls or bones. We might also see a coffin. That would be kind of cool to see in the game. Like a purely cosmetic item. Maybe it's a coffin bed or a coffin couch, so you can actually sit on it. It's not just there, right? It has some cosmetic use, some furniture use. We might see like a spooky candle stand or something like that, where it has some flickering animation, some flame to it. I don't know. These are some more speculative things, but here is the spooky icicle lights. If you forgot what those look like, again, we could see different things instead of these skulls, or I'm sorry, instead of these pumpkins, we could see skulls, we could see cauldrons, we could see bats, lots of things on these lights instead of this. I don't know. These are just some things that I'm thinking of. Obviously, we are expecting the pumpkin and the bag of candy above all else, but probably more than just that, given the amount of things that we've seen in previous Halloween events. I'm not even mentioning the weird Halloween event that we had during the Judas patch, where we had that question mark item added to this game. We had that Mary statue, so I don't know, maybe Defaultio has something like that up his sleeves for this Halloween event. I guess we'll see. We are already in the Halloween event technically in the month of October that we're in right now. and spook trees are beginning to spawn around the map, so I'll make a spook and sinister wood guide coming up soon, probably in the next video. But stay tuned for Halloween leaks. I made one a few days ago. I'll probably be making more as we see more items added to this game. Let me know what you guys think of these predictions, and leave any other predictions that you might have in the comment section below. I'd love to see what those might be. Stay tuned for all things Lumber Tycoon 2 for me. Turn on the bell for me so that you won't miss an upload from me. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.